This video is brought to you by Concord. No, I'm just with you. I ain't playing that. You couldn't pay me enough. If you're not by now familiar with the term live service, here's a rundown. A live service game, otherwise known as games as a service, is basically a video game set to have a long lifespan. It relishes heavily around online multiplayer components and receive often ongoing updates to add more content to refresh the game. Basically, you're stuck on a treadmill and are constantly running until you puke for new titles, higher multiplayer ranks, weapons, skins, all that shit, right? If that sounds familiar at all, you've probably played an MMO or two like Elder Scrolls Online, or my personal favorite MMO, DC Universe Online. If anyone remembers that. But I feel like the live service era is slowly ruining games. Why? Because everyone and their grandmother wants to make everything a live service game. Now games as a service really started to grow around 2017 with the massive success of Fortnite, one of the biggest video games to ever release since Minecraft, has impacted the way games have been played, and it made a lot of money. Money? Even to this day, Fortnite is getting thousands of revenue every single day. So why is that an issue? Hey, I want some of that money. We should turn our game into a service. Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Johnny. Oh, I love you, Johnny. I love you too, Billy. But yeah, anyway, you see the point? Every company wants their own Fortnite, but don't want to take the time to understand why people like Fortnite. Nowadays, almost every AAA game has to have some kind of battle pass. Even Call of Duty became a victim to it. A lot of these games are turning into something more similar to gambling habits, like an addiction. You know, addiction that can easily destroy people's lives. I don't even think live service is inherently bad. I mean, look at Helldivers 2, well, before they burned themselves to the ground. But it was still a great game that a lot of people had fun with and the content was great. But just tons of saturation, profit-forward business practices, and just laziness are what make live service bad. Companies releasing product that's often half-baked with promises of future updates. Updates and DLCs serve to complete the game, not expand it. And sometimes, yeah, that does work out in the end, but it's not guaranteed. And all these service games require all of your time. Do you remember just buying a game and there was an optional multiplayer and it was just very fun to play and just when you wanted to play it? Now you basically have to play it, and you have to keep up and play that multiplayer all the time if you don't want to miss exclusive limited event items. And it's honestly sad to have to witness layoffs happen and people have to lose their jobs due to a game they clearly didn't want to make, but the bosses told them they have to, and then losing their jobs because the bosses are making dumb executive decisions. Sony's brand new IP, Concord, just released 2 weeks ago and is already being shut down. I guess you could say the game was too weak to last. Huh? Anyway, Concord was a game that cost Sony over $200 million and 8 years of development time, and all that was flushed down the crapper. Its shutdown led to Sony literally offering refunds to anyone who purchased the game, so Sony wasted all that money and made zero profit. And hopefully not, but this could also potentially lead to more layoffs. I mean, hopefully not, but you can never trust it these days. And Concord was a hero shooter that cost $40. A paid hero shooter in an oversaturated market, a free-to-play hero shooter, seems like a great idea, don't you think? I also want to say this is not my gameplay, obviously. It'd be down anyway by the time I'm recording this video, so I'll post the channel's name somewhere on the page. Viz from the future, please do that. But Concord was basically a good value Overwatch. Well, actually, it's like worse than great value. It's like the garbage food that is sold in a place that shouldn't have food, like AutoZone. The character designs were incredibly bland, generic, they look like they're AI generated. The gameplay is also apparently boring and slow paced, and it's just overall soulless. Like, it really wanted to be a Guardians of the Galaxy type style, and it just fell flat on its ass. And there's just so many other examples. Like, if you guys remembered Skull and Bones, that big quadruple A title from Ubisoft, yeah, y'all remember that? How's that doing? And do I dare bring up the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? A game that was pretty much confirmed finished even before its second update? And also bring layoffs and pretty much leaving a giant boil on the butt cheek of Rocksteady? It's just depressing to witness. Games need to be a finished product. Something that you can always go back to and enjoy. Not something you feel like you waste time into and something you'll never revisit once the shiny new one comes around. And yeah, I get that some may just love to stick to one game. And I'm not trying to be down on anyone who enjoys live service, because sometimes, yeah, it can be a good time. Games like Fortnite and Destiny, albeit with its controversies, have shown that when mostly done well, can keep players coming back. It's fine. But let's not forget the fact that live service games can just shut down at any time they want, and everything you paid and worked for can just disappear with no guarantee of a refund at all. And games as a service just sucks because only a few are actually good. Most die a brutal death or just kinda crawl beneath the sewer, surviving whatever shit they can barely scavenge. And a lot can just simply be embarrassing. Like Square Enix making Marvel's Avengers or DICE making Anthem. Y'all remember that? Good, don't let EA forget it either. But just respectable game companies making complete laughable failures, it's just not even funny anymore. And it just sucks when a live service model is shoehorned into what should have been a pretty cool single-player game. It's the reason we often hear the term live service or see service elements in a game, and we feel a nasty fart brewing in our stomachs. A game could look so neat up until you see or hear all these elements. And I only criticize because I really don't believe the games as a service model is sustainable in the long run. But, I don't know. Call me weird for not playing Overwatch anymore. Saved myself from that. But yeah, that's my rant. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.